Hi class. This lecture is on equations that are in quadratic form. So let's get started. Okay, say we have an equation that looks like this. Well, this doesn't look like a quadratic equation, but it's a quadratic in form if we let u be equal to x squared, right? Then u squared is equal to x squared squared, or x to the fourth. And now it can look like in quadratic form, because now we can say x to the fourth is u squared. We have u squared minus x squared is u 6, that's 6u, plus 8 is equal to 0, right? And now we can factor this. So we have u, what are the factors? We have 2 times 4, right? And that adds up to 6, so u minus 2, right, times u minus 4 is equal to 0, right? When there's a negative there and a plus there, it's got to be both minuses, so they add up to that. So that's how we factor that. So then u is equal to 2, or u is equal to 4, right? Those work. A times b is equal to 0, then a is equal to 0, or b is equal to 0. So that's equal to 0, or u is equal to 2, and that's equal to 0, or u is equal to 4, right? But u is equal to x squared, so we have x squared is equal to 2, or x squared is equal to 4. We have this, we take the square root principle, we take the square root here, so x is equal to plus or minus square root of 2. And here we have x is equal to plus or minus 2. This is to the fourth degree, so we have 4 solutions. They are square root of 2 minus square root of 2, and then we have 2 and minus 2. So this was quadratic in form if we just change x to u, and so it's x squared squared x squared this, so we have u squared minus 6u plus 8 is equal to 0, and then we solve it in the normal way. So that is an equation that's quadratic in form. Let's do a second one, and that is, this one looks a little odd, but we get used to it. X plus the square root of x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now, how is that quadratic in form? Does anybody see it? If we let u be equal to this guy, u is equal to the square root of x, then u squared is equal to x. So we can replace the x by u squared. The square root of x by u minus 6 is equal to 0. So this turned out to be quadratic in form if we make this substitution. All right, we can solve this one. That's 2 times 3. The difference is this. 2 times 3. So the positives win. So we have u times something is equal to 0. Now it's going to be, we'll put the plus 3 here and the minus 2 here. Does it work? U squared minus 2u, but we have the plus 3u and the minus 6. So that works. So we have u plus 3 is equal to 0, or u minus 2 is equal to 0. And we have u is equal to minus 3, or u is equal to 2. So we have the square root of x is equal to minus 3. That doesn't give us real solutions. We could have imaginary solutions, but we have the square root of x is equal to 2. So therefore we square both sides, and x is equal to 4. So there's our solution. Okay, it's to the 1 degree, so one solution is fair. And there we have that one. Okay, how about this one? We could have like an x minus 5 quantity squared minus 4 times x minus 5 minus 21 is equal to 0. This one's quadratic in form. This one's a little bit more obvious. We just let u be equal to x minus 5, right? And so we have u squared minus 4u minus 21 is equal to 0. We factor that. 3 times 7, the difference is 4. So we have u minus 7, there's more negatives, times u plus 3. You can check that multiplies to that. Or we have u is equal to 7, or u is equal to minus 3. Now, so u was x minus 5, so x minus 5 is equal to 7. So x is equal to adding 5, 12. There's one solution. Or x minus 5 is equal to a minus 3, adding 5. X is equal to 2. There's another solution. Okay, we can check those. And if you put in 12, that's 7 squared, 49. Putting in 12 here, and so that's 7. 7 times 4 is 28. It's a minus 28, minus 21, and it's a minus 49. 49 minus 49 is 0. So that one worked, and you can check the other one. Okay, last one. 20 times x to the minus 2 plus 9 times x to the minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we're getting used to this now. We can let u be equal to 1 over x, which is also equal to x to the minus 1. So x to the minus 2 is just u squared. So we have 20 u squared plus 9u plus 1 is equal to 0. Now we factor this. Well, 4 times 5 add up to 9, and that's just 1 times 1. So, and they're all pluses, so we have 4u plus 1 times 5u plus 1 is equal to 0. You can confirm that's equal to that. So we have 4u plus 1 is equal to 0, or 5u plus 1 is equal to 0. If we solve these, 4u is equal to minus 1, and u is equal to minus 1 over 4, or 5u is equal to minus 1, and u is equal to minus 1 over 5. But u is just equal to 1 over x, right? So therefore x is equal to 1 over u, solving for x, bring that up, bring that down. So we just have to flip these, and x is equal to a minus 4, and x is equal to a minus 5. And you can check those answers, and they'll work. Well, I hope this video was useful for your learning, and you enjoyed it. Cheers.